What's going on, everybody? This is Shok, and yeah, I'm doing another video. But obviously in this video, I want to talk about the Nintendo Direct and the things that they showed and announced during that Direct. In general, I actually thought the Direct was pretty good. And so since I personally thought the Direct was pretty good, I was, going on Facebook and these gaming sites expecting most of the fan base to be saying the same thing, but actually saw tons and tons of people either say it was flat out bad or, just all right or mediocre, which is really surprising because if you guys have been, so to me for a while, you would know that for the majority of the directs, I think they're either bad or okay. I would say, maybe 60, 70-ish, percent of the directs are just kind of like, that was cool, that was all right, or whatnot. But this one I was actually pretty happy with, and so since I, of all people, was pretty happy with this Direct, I was surprised to see so many people who were not happy with the Direct. But I will say this, maybe that was because I actually did not watch the Direct live. I woke up late, after the Direct or whatever, and I watched it with a, in a pre-recorded, not pre-recorded, but, in a form where I could skip around, move the time marker and whatnot on the video player. So what I did with this Direct is, like, if I saw something I wasn't interested in, I pretty much skipped. So when I saw, like, Mario Party 10, oh, he's about to talk about it, let me just skip that part. If I saw some, indie game I don't care about or whatever, I'm just going to skip that part, yada, yada. That's pretty much what I did. So maybe if I, was forcefully, I had to forcefully, like, watch those things, if I was watching it live, I would have, had a more negative opinion of it. But I skipped around and I pretty much just watched the parts that I was interested in. Like, if I saw a Xenoblade on, like, the time marker thing, I was like, oh, let me scroll back and get the beginning of that trailer. And that's pretty much what I did. So maybe that's what it was. I don't know, but I still thought the Direct was pretty dang good. Not amazing by any means, no Megatons, but I was pretty satisfied with it. But to get on with it, they first started off but announcing a new Fire Emblem for the 3DS. Now, if you guys have been subbed to me for the last 2 years, you will know that Fire Emblem Awakening on the 3DS was my game of the year 2013. That game is phenomenal. That game was amazing. I love it to death. I've played it over like 3 times. I started a 4th playthrough. Never got around to finishing that one, but I played that game a lot. A hell of a lot. Love that game so much. So naturally, I am very, very excited to see a new Fire Emblem. Hopefully, because it is kind of coming like really, really soon, and Nintendo usually doesn't do this type of thing, with their games outside of course, the typical, Mario and sometimes, Pokemon kinds of situations. But it's really, really strange to see Nintendo pulling out a sequel of a game. Again, that's not Mario, Pokemon, or something like, 2 years later. That's very, 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 very odd, especially with a franchise such as Fire Emblem. But I know why they're doing this, because Awakening was a huge success. That was going to be the last game in the series until Awakening sold so well. So they're probably trying to just, ride the Fire Emblem hype train right now. They're trying to keep the momentum going so that Fire Emblem could be, even bigger than Awakening has already made it. I will say this, hopefully this does not become a trend with Nintendo. Because the one thing I always liked about Nintendo is that they wouldn't give us sequels, every year or, every other year or whatever. So I could tolerate having a sequel to Awakening or, just the next Fire Emblem this quickly. But if they plan on doing a new Fire Emblem like every 2 years or something, Nintendo, I'm gonna need to have you not do that, because I don't like that. I typically don't like those kinds of things. It could get people burnt out on a franchise, pretty quickly, So since this is the first one, I'm cool with it. I'm gonna let it slide. I just hope this doesn't become a trend or a tendency, with Nintendo. So yeah, Fire Emblem, excited, cannot freaking wait. I loved Awakening. If you haven't played Fire Emblem Awakening, hey, I suggest you, go ahead and pick you up a 2DS and get that game. It was great. Another thing they announced, I'm not going in order or anything, I'm just going off of what I remember, was Wii Games for the Wii U. Pretty much and of course, the Wii U does have backwards compatibility, but they're pretty much porting over Wii games digitally to the Nintendo eShop that you can download on your Wii U. And any Wii game that supports the classic controller will support, the buttons on the actual gamepad, which is really cool. Now, at first I was like, oh, I don't know about this. This seems kind of retarded. I mean, why would you, remake Wii games for the Wii U? Well, not even remake, but, port them over when the Wii U has direct physical backwards compatibility with Wii games, But then I saw that these games were $9.99, at least, you know, if you buy them. I think it was in the first 2 weeks or something like that. But if you buy them, you know, around the launch period, you could actually get them half off, which is $9.99. And I really can't argue with that or diss that. That's a pretty amazing deal, especially for Metroid Prime Trilogy. For those of you who have not been able to get your hands on Metroid Prime Trilogy, you could get Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3 for $9.99 digitally. That is like freaking amazing. That is a steal. Even for Mario Galaxy, you know, amazing game. That is a steal. Now, while that is a pretty cool announcement and whatnot, one thing that pissed me off, and I'm sure a lot of you guys knew this was coming, but one thing that pissed me off about this announcement is the fact that we're getting Wii games on the Wii U eShop before we're getting GameCube games, or even, you know, N64 games for that matter, and that pisses me off to no end. Now, I've seen some people say, oh, well, you know, it makes sense considering the fact that, you know, the Wii U essentially has a Wii inside of it, so it's pretty effortless, you know, for Nintendo to actually port Wii games over to the Wii U. That is true. But at the same time, if you think about it, a Wii is pretty much a beefed up GameCube. Wii's literally used the same parts that the GameCube did. You see what I'm saying? So it really wouldn't be that much harder at all to get these GameCube games going up on Wii U either. See, you see what I'm saying? Like, the Wii was literally an extension of the GameCube. It was a beefed up GameCube. They share the same parts, the same architecture, everything just stronger pretty much. So the fact that, you know, they got these Wii games seemingly out so quickly or whatever, or the fact that they're getting out first, it's just kind of silly because, you know, again, we have backwards compatibility with the Wii already. Most of us already own these games. We want the GameCube games, Nintendo, and alongside that, we want the N64 games. Can you please get those out to us, please? They showed Splatoon. They showed some more stuff about Splatoon in the online lobby. I believe it was called the Splatoon Hub. I'm actually really excited. I wouldn't say really excited, but I'm really looking forward to Splatoon because the game just looks like, you know, a breath of fresh air. Splatoon looks really cool. It looks really fun. I like the creative ideas and everything. I like the whole hub world they're doing. They pretty much went over the customization. That was kind of the focus of what they went over the direct. That game's gonna be fun. I'm really looking forward to Splatoon, and it just shows how, you know, Nintendo, you know, needs. It just further proves, I won't say proves, but supports what I've been saying this whole time about how, you know, Nintendo needs, you know, fresher blood and stuff like that. Because notice, you know, if you kind of think about it, this is the first really big game that's being made, you know, notably by younger teams. You know, they've explicitly stated, you know, this is from these younger guys, you know. And notice how fresh it is, and notice it's online. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not going to get into all that because I've talked about that a lot, and that's another video, whatever. But you guys see what I'm saying? Just kind of proves that, you know, Nintendo, their newer blood, you know, it's just, yeah. I'm not going to get into all that because I'll piss people off. Kirby the Rainbow Curse, I'm sorry, I really don't give two shits about that game. That is not a Kirby game. It looks very boring to me. Not looking forward to it whatsoever. Mario Party 10 looks like absolute garbage dookie. It looks like something I dropped in the toilet last night. Yeah, Mario Party's been dead, in my opinion. It just hasn't been good for a while. Xenoblade Chronicles X. Jesus Christ. Now, again, if you guys have been sub to me for a while, you know how much I love the original Xenoblade. And I can't stress enough how amazing that game was. If you have not played that game yet, play it. Play it. You have to. You have to play that game. And I know I say that all the time, but I just can't stress enough how amazing that game was. That was my favorite game of last generation. Not my favorite game on Wii. My favorite game of last generation. One of my favorite games of all time. One of the best RPGs of all time, hands down. The game was phenomenal. So the fact that we're getting a spiritual successor to that game, you know, on stronger hardware, it's going to have some online functionality. Like I said on Facebook, man, this game is just going to consume my soul. Even if you're not interested in RPGs, give it a try. Get to Gar Plain. The beginning of the game is a little bit slow, but once you get to Gar Plain, and you go into that first big open field, you're just like, oh my god, it's just amazing. For those of you who play the game, you know what I'm talking about, man. You know what I'm talking about. But Xenoblade Chronicles X just looks phenomenal. The environments, the scale, the art style, the art direction is just so on point. The environments, the creativity, the world, the life, it's just so it's beautiful. That's the only word that can accurately describe that game. Is beautiful. One thing that's not beautiful about that game is the characters' faces. The characters' faces are pretty damn bad. It could use some work. But outside of that, the game just looks freaking beautiful. It looks phenomenal. I can't wait to see more. I can't wait to hear more. The game's going to be amazing. The game's going to be amazing. Definitely keep that game on your radar. Even if you're not into RPGs, play it. A new Majora's Mask 3DS is coming. 3DS bundle with the Majora. Not actually, excuse me. It doesn't come with Majora's Mask, which is the main problem with this. But it looks pretty dope. I would think that if they did a Majora's Mask 3DS, it would be, purple to kind of, just kind of match Majora's Mask a little bit more. But it still looks dope. Am I going to buy it? No, because once again, I'm not really a huge Zelda fanatic like that. But I'm happy for the people who wanted a Majora's Mask 3DS, because I saw a lot of like Photoshops, shared on Facebook and stuff of Majora's Mask 3DS. People are like, oh, I'll buy this instantly. Nintendo actually did it. So, I'm happy for the Zelda fans or whatever. But what I want is that Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate 3DS, because you guys know, like I always say, I'm a Monster Hunter slut. I love Monster Hunter. I am going to buy a new 3DS because I still have an original. I never got an XL, so to me, this is for me. This is gonna be like my first upgrade. This is gonna be my second or third, like some people might have done. But this is gonna be my first one. I want that Monster Hunter 4 3DS. It looks so slick and sexy. It looks beautiful. The only problem with the new 3DS is that it does not come with an AC adapter. It doesn't come with a wall charger, which of course isn't an issue for me considering I already have one. But the problem arises when somebody else who hasn't ever bought a 3DS is getting a new 3DS as the first time, and then they have to go out of their way to buy a new adapter. Yes, AC adapters aren't that expensive. They're very inexpensive actually, but it's just the inconvenience factor. Like somebody shouldn't have to go to a third-party source or whatever to try to get something that fuels the battery of their system. You see what I'm saying? And yeah, sure, maybe most people who buy this are going to be pre-existing 3DS users. But it's like, my thing is that if these people are trading in their older 3DSs to the new 3DS, that means they're not going to trade in their adapter with it, which means that GameStop is going to have to supply an adapter for their used systems, which means that GameStop is probably going to bump up the price of their used 3DSs for new people who might be buying a 3DS for the first time that's used. See what I'm saying? So it's just kind of this whole like vicious kind of cycle thing. It's just, it's not that big of a deal money-wise. It's just an inconvenience factor. But it's not a deal breaker or anything. I would never be like, oh, I'm not buying a new 3DS. I'm not supporting the fact that it does come with the AC adapter. But it's just pretty inconvenient. Oh yeah, I forgot the new game from Namco Bandai, or Bandai Namco, because they changed their name, didn't they? Whatever. Let's just say Bandai. They're going to be making a free-to-play exclusive for the Wii U. They literally did not show anything of that game. All they did was show the bottom of characters' faces, like their lips and their chins. And that was pretty much it. So I really can't say I'm really looking forward to that because I don't know what the hell that game is. But it's going to be a free-to-play co-op shooter. So, hey, free-to-play. It's a co-op game on the Wii U. The Wii U needs more co-op games. So, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing what it actually is. Hopefully, since it's free-to-play, it's not going to be crap or mediocre. But I'm definitely going to be, looking out for news with that. So outside that, Project Codename Steam. Honestly, this might be appalling to some of you, but I just can't dig that game. I don't like the art style. I don't like the setting, which is a shame because I love games like that, right? I love turn-based strategy games. I love Valkyria Chronicles. Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. Again, Fire Emblem. The few hours I played of XCOM, I really enjoyed XCOM, but and that's what makes me mad because I just don't like the art style. I just don't like the theme of that game, and it's just really putting me off. And I know it's going to be a good game. I know it is, and that's what sucks because the art style and whatnot is just turning me off. But game definitely looks good. It's just not going to be for me. It's just not me. But other than that, I believe that's it. I did not intend this video to be this long. Sorry about that. But those are my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.